Activision devs do not play their own game. It's not your dad doesn't support you.
You should know, you worked at a coffee shop, you stupid bitch.
My name is Casey, and absolutely not fucking Tanner, because my parents don't hate me that much.
Hey, did they have just 8 patches lined up, but they just didn't release them because they were on break? No, you moron kids.
Then we'll, of course, get into it. Change your fucking name and get scammed. He's feeling under the weather.
I probably won't say another word until Stay Humble, so have a good pod, Raz. I'll be here listening.
Got it. We are not live. We're recording a public episode. I think for the first time ever.
For the first time in history, yeah. This is the first time ever.
The first time in history. Welcome, boys and girls, to the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, a number. We don't know what number yet. We'll get into it. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. I am joined today by young Tanner.
Young Jamie, huh?
Young Jamie.
Young Jamie's a lot older looking than I thought he was.
Young Jamie's not very young.
Yeah,
actually.
no, he's declining. Put it that way. He ain't looking too hot these days.
He's younger than Joe, Jamie, for sure.
Yeah.
But doesn't look it. But he's also not juicing.
Looks terrible. Yeah,
he needs to start juicing so that he can get on that Joe Rogan tip.
Joe juice?
Yeah.
Really?
He talks about it all the time.
Really? Huh.
And that's what the Liver King should have been doing since day one, by the way.
Yeah,
Speaking of that discourse.
He wanted to make millions though for lying to people. That's the difference.
I'm kind of I don't know. It was wrong to be lying about it.
Because the thing is, this is what it comes down to. As someone who doesn't work out, I don't know, but here's what it comes down to for me. The guy works out. I mean, look at him. If he's on steroids, if he's on steroids or not, he's fucking juiced. He works out like crazy. So he's still putting in a lot of effort. That's why he should have just said, "Oh yeah, I've got some help." He's getting some assist. He's basically on controller working out. He's getting some assist.
He's got dynamic on for sure. Yeah.
It's not doing it all for him, but it's helping quite a bit.
Yeah. And I feel like he could have sold quite a bit of supplements anyway. He probably wouldn't have sold as many if he was honest about it, but he would still be making quite good money.
Oh,
and he wouldn't have been like living a lie for however long he was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't really know much about the guy. I'd seen like meme clips of him every once in a while, but I don't know. It's just weird. But also, if anyone's surprised that dude was juicing, come on, man. He's like in his 40s too, or 50s.
Yeah, I genuinely believe you deserve to be scammed if you thought he was legit. Like I don't even blame him. I blame you for falling for that shit.
I don't know if I said this on a public episode or not, so I'm going to say it again. This is the bodybuilder triangle. Okay. Lean, big, natty. Pick 2. That's it. Can't be all 3. Can't be lean and big and natural like he was. You can't.
That's funny.
You can pick 2. You can be lean and big.
Yeah.
But then you're not natty, which is what obviously he was. It looked like he weighed actually like I don't know how tall he is, but he looks like he's like 260.
He's a short king, if I'm not mistaken. Like very short, I think.
Really?
I think we're talking like 5'6" here or something.
Oh, if he's 5'6", still, he looks like he's like 240 at 5'6" or something.
He's 5'7".
Okay, yeah. Do you have his weight? Can you get his weight?
According to this article from October, he's 190 pounds.
What? Really? God, he looked bigger than that. I mean, with that
I
little
don't know.
body fat, though, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Either way, look at that guy's fucking body. Tell me he's not. And he's in his 40s and tell me he's natural. Come on. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like he made a little apology video I watched a little bit of. And he was like, well, I don't compete. I'm not gaining an unfair advantage over anyone. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And I was thinking like, yeah, you're right. It's not a big deal. So don't lie about it. So why'd you lie about it? Like, if you want to juice and you're not like competing, go for it. Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Hold on, there's someone at the door. I'll be right back. You can keep going though. Be right back in a minute.
Okay. So Anyway, welcome to the show. So today we are doing a Q&A episode where we answer your guys' questions. Now, if you're new here, keep in mind that we allow anyone and everyone who joins the community to join the Discord, which is linked somewhere, and go to the Q&A channel, Q&A questions channel, and ask, that was a bad one, and ask us a question in there. We may or may not answer it, and it'll take a while for us to get to them. We used to do these episodes more often, but basically every once in a while, we will answer Q&A questions, and that's what we're doing today. So if you only listen for Call of Duty content, be forewarned, some of these questions will be about Call of Duty. Some of them will be about gaming in general. Some of them will be about food, probably. And some of them will be about none of those three things. So this is not going to be an entirely COD-centric episode. So if that's all you're interested in, just keep that in mind. Not every question is going to be related to the game, although some probably will be. And then again, also keep in mind, if you want to ask a question, feel free to do that. Join the Discord, go to the channel. Now, this is our first ever pre-recorded episode of the program. I'm going to schedule it. We're going to schedule it to release in tandem on video and audio at a time. So for those of you maybe who are new or who don't know, I am moving to a different state sometime in December this month. And Tanner's going to be out of town intermittently through December as well. So this is a very weird month. So at the time of recording this, it's December 7th. And I'm not 100% sure yet when exactly I will be moving to my new house. But again, it's like we're moving to a different state. It's going to be a big ordeal.
What's a move?
And I've talked to the ISP out there. I made an account, I made a payment, and the guy said, you're good to go. As soon as you're there, you can plug in a modem, call our tech support, which is open 24/7, and your internet will be on. You already have an account, you've already paid. I've done everything I can. So in a best case scenario, I'll be online, a day after I move. But probably won't be. Something's going to go wrong, I'm sure.
Certainly.
I might die in a car crash driving there. I mean, so many things.
You could die in a car crash.
And will go wrong. So we are going to, in light of that, pre-record this. Yeah, I know. Pre-record this episode. So the reason this isn't numbered and the reason that I don't know at the time of recording when this is going live is because I don't know exactly when I'm moving yet. So through December, in addition to this not being live for our first time ever, also, I don't know how many episodes publicly we're going to do. We have obligations and we have reasons where we would want to pretty much every month we do 8 episodes, 2 a week. That's probably not going to be true for December, but so that we wouldn't have only 5 episodes this month, we wanted to pre-record at least something. And luckily, Q&A questions is a good episode to pre-record because we're answering questions from months ago anyway. So it doesn't matter that it isn't being done and uploaded the next day. There's no time constraint really. It would be dumb for us to pre-record an episode about, patch notes and then release it 2 weeks later when the patch is reverted or some shit.
Yeah.
So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, December is going to be a weird month. It's currently a weird month. Whenever you're hearing this, we're going to be halfway or close to the end of it. Schedule's going to be weird for Christmas and stuff too. You guys will probably have heard by now more details on this than I know at the time of recording. So whatever. January, things will be back to normal. And we are very excited about that. So I'll be back. The holidays will be over. I'll be set up by then, certainly. And everything's going to be hunky-dory. But that's what's going on here. So we don't know what episode number this is. Don't know when it's going live. Hope you enjoy it. Other than that, as far as announcements go, think that's about it.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, this is a great time to use our Manscaped code, guys. Manscaped code Dropshot. Use it. 20% off, free shipping. Buy it for yourself for the holidays, since no females listen to this. Your wife or girlfriend isn't going to get it for you. Or you can tell her to use our code and buy you some stuff. But be a great time to use the code. Get some gifts, some stocking stuffers, excellent trimmers, shampoo.
Great boxers.
Body wash, excellent boxers.
And their deodorant, which
best,
I'm running out of.
Interesting. The best lip balm chapstick I've ever used in my life. I got 3 of them. They're all gone already, unfortunately. I've been balming my lips up, you know. But yeah, it'd be a great time to use the code. Helps us. Supports the program.
Especially now.
And you get some nice quality merchandise.
Yeah. Go to manscaped.com, get something, use code Dropshot, 20% off, which is a big discount and free shipping. That would help us tremendously if you were looking to get some kind of last minute present and or something for yourself. There's a bunch of cool shit there, which we've talked about. And now would be a particularly good time. That's a great way to support the program. So we would appreciate that.
Yes.
So thanks. Yeah, keep that in mind for sure. All right. So other than that, I guess we will dive into this. If you're listening for the jingle, here it is.
Wasn't sure if we're gonna jingle or not. There we go, though. That's working. So what's the going rate for internet out there? Do you know what you're gonna have to pay yet? Any clue?
1 gig down, 50 up, $100 a month.
Interesting.
110 a month, I think, maybe.
Yeah. Wow.
Is that a lot? I don't know.
I mean, I pay less than that for fiber here. 1,000 up, 1,000 down, but
How much do you pay?
it's supposed to be like $70, but after the taxes and all the other shit, it's like 85, 90 a month.
Okay.
That's not terrible, though. Anything around 100 is good, as long as it doesn't go down constantly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like actually 110 too. I already paid my first bill.
Oh, nice. So
there's nothing else baked in. Also, reason I did it, no contract there.
Yeah.
I can get out at any time.
I don't think most providers have contracts anymore.
Oh,
Verizon
really?
doesn't for me either. Yeah, I think they pretty much ended
know.
that years ago. Fortunately, God, that was awful when you're locked in a contract.
I know.
Scummy.
That was important for me because if they're a dog shit ISP, I'll just be able to switch.
Yeah.
As long as I have something that sometimes works, like the moment I'm out there, so that I can do some things. Then if it's shit, I can surf for a better provider and then just get out of that one right away. So
yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, hopefully that'll work out. All right. Welcome to the program. Today, we're answering your guys' questions. Your guys' questions. Shout out to whoever corrected me on that, because they were right, I think. Okay, so first question is from the 6th month, 24th day of this year, 2022. That's June, I believe. This is from Beige Marauder. So this is not exactly relevant, but I think we'll answer it anyway. Do people want Verdansk back because it was good or because Caldera is so bad?
Yeah, people just didn't like Caldera. That's what it comes down to. And everyone wanted that COVID lockdown gaming feeling back again. That wasn't going to come back. You can give Verdansk back right now. You know, we've talked about this a lot. People would enjoy it for a short period of time. I would be bored. I've said this numerous times now. Many people think this is a hot take. I will take Al Mazrah right this second in the shit awful state that it's in, rather than going back to Caldera, Verdansk, Rebirth, Fortune's Keep, any of it. I would take this engine, the way the game plays, the bugs, and the map over going back to any of those things, because I just want something different, and this still feels like something completely different.
Yep, I agree. Yeah.
I just can't believe the amount of people that want to play Rebirth for another year. I genuinely can't understand it.
Yeah. I think in hindsight, Verdansk was just a better map than Caldera. I liked Caldera early on, but the more you played it, the more the elevation really, really, really reared its head.
Yeah.
And it also got carried by balloons. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember Caldera pre-balloons, but that map is just not well made. It's just not a well-made map, ultimately. I wanted to like it. I did like it for a while, but once people really start learning things and and playing more, and you know, the balloons helped a ton, but yeah. Anyway, we beat that subject to death, but yeah. Let's see. Where do you want to go next here, Tanner?
Yeah, we skipping a lot. Let's go to Steel Switch 625.
Okay. Last time you experienced an earthquake. Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, it's been a while. We
live in California, by the way, for the listeners, so we actually get earthquakes.
Yeah.
It's weird to me that most people have never experienced an earthquake before.
My thing is,
happen in a ton of places.
It's very odd to me of how scared people from other states are.
Exactly what I was gonna say.
It's very odd.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
I haven't heard it recently. Like growing up, I always heard like, "Oh my god, I could never live in your state because you know earthquakes happen."
In Kansas,
and then I'm like,
tornadoes.
yeah, I'm like, okay, but tornadoes, fucking hurricanes, destroying whole fucking cities, everything, and what people always say was like, yeah, but you know those are coming. Earthquakes, you don't know. Yeah. You're right, but in my lifetime, yet we've never had a big substantial earthquake that's caused any amount of damage here. Like none.
Yeah.
I'm 30 years old and I haven't experienced a big one myself. And they keep saying it's coming. We're due for one. We're overdue for one. They've been saying that for 100 years.
We were like 2. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the Northridge earthquake?
Northridge.
Yeah.
We were like 2 or something, and it was a fucking big earthquake.
Interesting.
I slept through it supposedly.
Wow. Yeah.
They tell me the story. They ran into my room and picked me up, and I'm just fucking out.
You're just out like a little shit baby, little dog
like a little
shit
tiny
baby.
Shit dog.
Yeah,
shit baby. Yeah.
I don't. When was the last time we even felt one? I mean, people think
recently.
People think like because
2 ago.
They happen every day, which they do happen every day. You cannot feel 99% of them. They're so small you don't ever feel them, or you have to be like in the fucking right where it forms.
We had a small little one like a year ago. We talked about it.
Yeah.
It was just a little shit one though.
Yeah, it was like a 3 point something. That was close.
I think one time there was like one at 3 a.m. that most people just slept through. But my dad was like, "Did you feel that last night?" Yeah, most earthquakes are shit. Yeah. It's like a huge earthquake. A huge earthquake would be terrifying and scary, but they just don't happen often.
It's kind of exhilarating. It's a
fucking weird feeling.
It's interesting because when it happens, the thing that always gets you is thinking, okay, is another one coming? Is the next one? Was this just you know the start? Was this the mini, and then we're gonna get the big boy after this? You know, I think there was like I remember one time in like the last probably 5 or 6 years, because it was when we were at this house, that there was a big one, and Sierra and I were like, oh shit, and it rocked for probably 10, 15 seconds, which is a long ass time when you're shaking.
Yeah.
And I remember like that one was actually scary. I'm like, oh shit. And we like went and like stood under, you know, where like one of the big beams goes across because it was like shit was shaking. Yeah, that was a little freaky, but yeah, they don't have
that was like 10 years ago or something. I think I remember that one. Like a decent size. It wasn't that long ago
because it was at this house. I've only been here for like 4 or 5 years or something.
Oh, never mind then. Yeah. Yeah, the one I have like 10 years ago or so, there was like a fairly big earthquake. It wasn't like Northridge or anything, but it was like a 6. These work on an exponential scale, by the way. So a 7 is not like 5 to 6 is way less of a jump than 6 to 7. So like a 9.0 earthquake is not like 1 degree bigger than an 8. It's like 1,000 degrees bigger. Like it's a big deal how those numbers work. It's like exponential or logarithmic or whatever. I think it's exponential. But anyway, there was like a 6 point something like 10 years ago. And I remember I was playing here. I had a clock on my computer at the time. And it fucking fell. And then everything was shaking and it was crazy. So I run downstairs. I go out back. I'm standing on the grass out back. And feeling the grass move, that was freaky.
Yeah.
Because if you're in like a house and like things are shaking, it's like, for some reason, that's less weird because houses could shake from other things. But if you're standing on Earth and it's moving, that's weird because nothing's going to shake the Earth except an earthquake. Like other things could shake your house. But when you're standing on the grass and it's moving, it's a creepy feeling. But it wasn't that scary or anything. Yeah, I don't know. But the last time we experienced an earthquake was pretty recently. I think within a year. Yeah. They're just not that big of a deal. Mm-mm. They're really not. And unlike, where, like, if you live in, like, a hurricane state, you get hurricanes, like, every year.
You get numerous a year,
like, pretty bad ones, too. Earthquake areas are not nearly as bad as that.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, even if you don't get, like, hit by the hurricane, you still have a massive storm, a ton of rain that can cause flooding in your house and shit. Like, if you're not getting hit by 100 mile an hour, 130 mile an hour winds, like you can be without electricity for fucking days,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
an earthquake on the second floor of a house would probably be definitely more scary because that bitch is shaking more for sure.
It's weird. It's weird. I always get downstairs right away though, because I'm like, it feels worse.
Yeah,
for sure. Obviously, yeah. Okay, let's see. This is a weird question. Walt, are you familiar with the early 2000s internet slang term ASL? Also, what percentage of people listening to this have any idea what the fuck I'm talking about?
Of course I do.
Probably most of you, because most of you are older than us. ASL, age, sex, location. Yeah.
Did you ever use those?
Would be AGL now.
Yeah. Do you ever use those growing up? AIM and all those? AIM, AOL, Instant Messenger? Yeah, we use those all the time because I was before texting. So we would you would get home from being at school all day with people, like in middle school, something like that.
Middle school.
That's and the last time I used it. You would ask people before. They're like, "Oh, are you going to be on AIM tonight?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'll be on when I get home." And then you turn on your computer, and everyone's then on AIM chatting with each other. It's funny.
Yeah. Cool.
It wasn't. Yeah, I used it fucking a ton every single day.
So we know about ASL, but we never used it because by the time we were old enough to care about ASL, instant messaging was gone and it was text messaging. So I never unironically used ASL.
No, you use it you'd use it as a joke. Sometimes we're too young if you're trying to flirt with another 6th grade girl when you're in 6th grade, like, hey, ASL, as a dumb little joke, like, oh, who are you?
Yeah,
ASL, Right. And then of course the joke always was, 30 male Florida or something. It was always Florida for some reason. Now that I think about it, everyone said Florida. Florida haters back then too.
Yeah,
Florida and Ohio, the 2 worst states in the country.
Possible.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dog shit states in this country. Lot of dog shit.
Most of them, yeah.
Next, Salty Rhombus. What would your Top Gun call sign be? Inspiration. Every call sign from Top Gun ranked. I'm actually going to look at this. This is kind of a cute little question. What would your call sign be? Have you ever seen Top Gun?
Yeah. Have you?
Okay. No.
You have to see the new one. I haven't seen the original since I don't even remember it. So much that I actually consider I haven't even watched it. But the newest one is fucking, oh my god, fantastic movie. Great movie. I feel like you had to see it in theaters, though. That probably made it a lot better. All the scenes and everything on a giant,
I would imagine a movie like this, yeah.
I haven't watched it on my shit little television here at home, but I can imagine it's not nearly as good at home. What would I be?
So they're all one word: Cougar, Hollywood, Slider, Maverick, obviously, Stinger, Sundown. I don't know.
Jester.
What would my call sign be? Joker. No, fucking Batman ruins Joker.
Yeah.
Batman ruins it. Silly. Call sign silly. That's me.
What about Cum Master?
I don't think Cum Master would be very good. No, I don't think that would be.
Yeah. Salty literally said, "Please don't say Cum Master" or some lame shit. Yeah.
Airman.
Seaman. Yeah, Seaman First Class.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. We'll get back
It'd be
to you on that.
sharpshooter, I think.
No.
No? Okay.
No. It's too long and sucking your own dick too
Sharpie.
much.
That's me. I'm Sharpie.
Sharpie. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Ain't bad.
Next is future UFC world champion Nicole. Okay, change it. What would be an ideal gulag? Describe the layout, design elements, weaponry. This is an interesting question. I don't know if we've been asked this. I'm surprised if we haven't. Because this is a great question. What does an ideal gulag look like?
Oh my god. Holy shit, this is good.
What?
So in honor of doing a recorded Q&A, I figured I'm going to bust out a seltzer early on in celebration.
Jesus, man. This guy, by the way, it's 10 a.m. for those of you listening.
So. Chris and I have been looking for these Bud Light apple seltzers for literally weeks, months even. Anytime we get them from somewhere, they give us something else and say, oh yeah, I don't know, we don't have those ones, I've never seen them. He finally found them at some liquor store. I took my first sip of the Bud Light Seltzer Crisp Apple. Dear God, that's crisp. That's a great seltzer. Holy shit.
Speaking of dog shit flavored alcohol, when we were playing poker, when Michael came over, or when I went to Michael's, like a week or two ago, his dad had gotten like Jack Daniel's, like apple whiskey or whatever, and he wanted to take shots of it. And I was like, I cannot believe you, a 60-something man, is doing this. And this is going to be disgusting.
They eat that shit up.
Dude, it was really good. I was amazed how good it tasted.
Apple goes great with alcohol, it seems.
Well, like I've had apple vodka, but this was like 12 years ago.
Vodka's not good, so that wouldn't be good, yeah.
And it was so bad. It was terrible. But like that was really good. I don't know if they have improved on their fruit flavors in liquor, or if I'm just older, or if I haven't drank it in so long I was misremembering. I don't know, but it was really good. I was surprised.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I mean, people that drink Jack are like middle-aged men, and they have so many different flavors of that shit, so they must eat it up. Like there's a popular one every Christmas for old fucking boomer white people, and it's the Crown Caramel. It's the Crown Royal Whiskey. It's like caramel flavored.
So bad.
And they fucking eat that shit up. Sold out everywhere.
So
constant.
bad.
I know. So you would think that these flavors that are awful, you think like, who's buying these? But it's like, it's the boomers buying them. And the elders. It's the elderly white people buying that shit up.
That's so surprising.
Yeah.
If you're like taking shots, like he doesn't sip on that apple whiskey. He like bought it to take shots with, I guess.
Damn, grow up, but yeah.
Well, I kind of agree. By the way, I've known him for 20 years. I've never seen him take a shot before that. So there was some, I don't know. It was some occasion, I guess. But whatever.
You leaving, he was celebrating.
He's like, thank God, finally, yeah. Anyway.
You ever try that peanut butter whiskey, by the way?
No. I would try it if it was there, but I'm never going to buy it.
That's where I'm at, because what do you do with it? I feel like there's not many mixers you can make, so it's like you have to just take shots with this. So I'm not going to buy a whole bottle. Butter. Exactly.
Yeah. What do you mix that with? That's a good point.
Nothing. You just take the shots, yeah.
I wonder if maybe... No, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like peanut butter and jelly. So like a grape kind of drink might be good.
So
because like grape Fanta or something.
Yeah. I've had peanut butter I've had peanut butter and whiskey like shaken together and in a shot, but I haven't tried the actual peanut butter whiskey one yet, because it'd be different, because the one I had, they used real peanut butter and then Jameson, and they shake it like a cocktail. So it's like,
that sounds really bizarre.
It sounds so weird. We went someplace in San Diego, and the couple we were with was like, listen, I know it sounds fucking weird. They're like famous and known for this. They created the peanut butter shot. You guys have to try it. I was like, okay.
I would try it.
It tastes like you're drinking slightly alcoholic, like creamy ass peanut butter, because the texture of it is so good with whiskey and then creamy peanut butter. But I feel like peanut butter flavored whiskey is just going to be weird and shit, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Doesn't give you that same mouthfeel or something.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be dog shit. But anyway, what's your ideal gulag?
Let's see. What has been the best gulag we've ever had? What was the one gulag in Caldera we liked? There was one gulag I actually enjoyed.
In Caldera, the first one, it was really good. It just had the little mine carts on the edges and then the little shack at mid. It was really good.
That was surprisingly my favorite gulag ever. Yeah, very open, one little thing in the middle. I think it was... No, I guess it wasn't symmetrical. It was close enough, though.
I think it was symmetrical.
Okay. Because, like, Gulag Showers was, but there was too much going on there. There was Gulag Showers was too cluttered for me, in my opinion. There's just so many places where people kind of just end up, like, ratting and sitting in a weird corner. So, something symmetrical, very open with, like, one piece of cover in the middle, essentially. Of course, no tacticals, no lethals, no pistols, no shotguns, no revolvers, SMGs, LMGs, assault rifles, any fully automatic gun, and nothing else. That's my perfect gulag.
My perfect gulag would be the map Speedball from Gunfight, MW 2019. The gunfight, like pretty much any of the gunfight maps, except for 2 of them. The ones that were like in the woods that were too big. I don't remember their names anymore, but they were terrible. But pretty much any other gunfight map would have been a great gulag map, and I didn't know why they never did that. But like, imagine Speedball. Like, that's a perfect gulag map. Like, it's super fair. I don't know if it's symmetrical, but it's not symmetrical. But it's also like, seems super balanced. And it's like a good size. And there's very good visibility too. You see the guy right away. You can get behind cover right away if you want, and you can do things. I don't like how in most of the gulags we've had, you just don't see the person you're facing. So you don't know where they're going.
And then you can't hear them either because the game doesn't have audio.
Exactly. So then you're just like, so many times you just die from behind or something because you weren't able to ever get a beat on them. And that shouldn't be the case. Like, it should be like Gunfight, where on most of the maps, you're fucking looking at the guy. And it's like, okay, he went right, and I went left. So now it's like, you know something, and then it's better. I don't know. It's not hard to me. So it would be the map Speedball. There would be no lethals and no tacticals. The weapons would be fully automatic. And that's it. And then the rule set would be pretty much the same as MW like 2019. There's a timer. Then there's an overtime timer. If you don't get on the flag, you both lose. That seems perfectly balanced to me. That part was fine. But just take out lethals, take out tacticals, make the guns full auto only. And then I'm like super happy with it.
Yeah, why is Gunfight way more balanced than the Gulag ever was?
It doesn't make any sense.
Like some of the OG MW19 Gulag maps, I mean Gunfight maps were so perfect. There was that other one,
King,
maybe the one I'm thinking of, where it's like all wooden, it's like a shoot house type thing almost.
And it's like indoors.
No. King was too big.
King was pretty big, yeah.
It's the tiny one. We played it constantly in the one Gunfight tournament we did.
It's like
outside in wood.
It's
very small. Fantastic. You're literally staring at the other team as you spawn in.
Yeah.
Trying to find
I don't know what it's called,
here.
But it's fantastic.
Realism Gunfight maps. Okay. Atrium, that one was trash.
Atrium was dog shit.
No, it wasn't Docks.
It wasn't Docks. That wouldn't be good.
King, Pine. It wasn't Speedball. Dude, why? I don't even see it on this list. What the fuck? Huh? I'm so confused.
Is it not there? I know what map you're talking about, 100%. I don't know what it was called, though. But it was really good.
Yeah, I literally just can't find it.
That would be a good one,
I'm looking at a list, and I swear to God, it's not on this list. I've gone through it twice now. No, there it is. Stack. It's called Stack. That was an OG launch Gunfight map. Amazing. The most perfect really design one. So, hey, make that a gulag. That'd be great. I would have loved to have 1 year of that gulag than them constantly changing.
It's just so weird to me how they don't want you to see the other team ever in a gulag. Or the other person.
Yeah, that played better than any gunfight map, I think. And you literally spawn in staring at the guy. You can ADS at them and look at them.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, that's my answer. Steel switch between Tanner and Raz, who can build a PC from scratch quicker. Definitely Tanner. I'm not good at anything mechanical.
I mean, everyone runs into issues doing it too. Whenever my last build, something I thought would take 30 minutes literally took me 6 hours. So
yeah,
it all depends who runs into the random problem and who doesn't, pretty much.
That's kind of true too. Yeah. Next one's from Pib. This is interesting. What's the worst and or funniest thing your pets have ever done?
Oh boy, worst and or funniest. I mean, Teddy, I don't even know. Teddy does funny shit literally every single day. Just like the most random dumb shit. Knock stuff off the walls. He's like a toddler.
Cats
like
are
you're like
mischievous,
yelling at
yeah.
him and you're like, Teddy, and he's just like staring at you as he's like pushing something off of like the table or something. Like on purpose.
Yeah. Cats are dicks like that, yeah.
I'll tell you probably the worst / funniest thing, it's kind of both, that I ever did was when Teddy was a kitten. I left him out at night on accident, I guess. Didn't even know. Our cats, none of our cats go outside. They'll run out the front door occasionally, and then they'll run 10 feet and get scared and stop dead in their tracks, and then we'll grab them. But one night, I don't know what happened. I had gone out to my car, I think, at night to do something. Teddy must have ran out. I had no idea. I woke up the next morning to go to work. At like 7 a.m., I'm in the kitchen, and there's a window in the kitchen that looks out to the backyard. And I'm like hearing like, meow. And I was like, what the fuck is that sound? And I look out there. This time? Yeah. He was like a fairly like, he wasn't like kitten, like young kitten size, but he was like probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. So he wasn't close to full grown, but he wasn't a little baby either.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what the fuck is that? So I go out to the backyard, and he's trying to get underneath, because there's like an enclosed patio that has a swinging screen door, and he's trying to get under the swinging door, but he was too big to fit under there. And he's like, meow, and he was just scratching at it. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was him. Then I like run up, and it's fucking Teddy. And I was like, dude, how the hell did you get out here? So to this day, I don't know what he did all night. I don't know what happened, but I accidentally let him out. And probably the whole night he was like waiting at the back door trying to get back in. And I mean, I'm lucky he didn't get caught. We have coyotes constantly running through our front yard. I mean, it's an odd week if you don't see at least one coyote running down the middle of our street. Broad daylight, too. They run down the middle of the day. Yeah, we got so I'm lucky suckers. He didn't get caught. But that was the worst thing I ever did to any of our cats, I think, was actually leave him out all night. He could have easily been killed.
Super easily, yeah.
Poor little guy.
Since I've lived here, coyotes have killed, I think, like 3 dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Like on my street.
Oh, yeah. Cats get killed.
Cats, I would imagine, get killed a lot, too.
You see posts like...
Rip.
Literally
F's
every other week of like, oh, my cat's missing. I think I got
Surpers a lot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We have skunks here as well, and my husky, Jax, every single time he wants to kill the skunk. And every single time he gets sprayed. He's been sprayed 3 times.
Jesus.
And you'd think he would learn after the first time to not do it. And he's never catches the skunk, by the way. You'd think he would learn after the first time or the second time. He didn't. So it's very fucking annoying. That's the worst thing.
Dude, they smell like skunk for like weeks. You cannot get that smell off of them.
Because you can't shave them. So like we bathe him and then you just like...
It's not possible. He still will just smell like that because our dog got sprayed once too, and he smelled like that for weeks.
Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah, and none of the cleaning shit works. You do it anyway, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't help. Yeah. You just have to actually just
wait. Say like tomato juice or something. None of it works.
Yep, we tried it. Bullshit. Doesn't do anything.
Absolutely bullshit. Sure, maybe it works better than cleaning them with water, but it does not take the smell away at all. So therefore, it didn't really work.
Yeah. Another one from Pib. Should console be able to disable cross-play?
Yeah,
Interesting question.
I don't know. I don't know how the player base, with the size of the player base now, to know how that would work in Warzone, though. I really don't. I think so. I don't know if we've ever really talked about this publicly on an episode, but from what we've gathered, the type of matchmaking in MW2 is a lot different than what it used to be. Like, we get matched up against way more PC and KBAM players. Like, it's if I'm playing Shoot House or something, it's weird if the lobby is mostly console. It's almost never that way. Like, you'll get a lot of my lobbies are like full KBAM, which is insane. I can't believe that's even a thing. Or you'll see like 2 controller players in there, but like I don't often even see actual console players when I'm playing 6s. It's weird. It definitely tries to matchmake you against your same input and console or PC this year. I don't think it used to do that as much.
Interesting.
I noticed that all the time because I was like, dude, I can't believe the amount of KBAM players on this game. And then when I played controller that one time, I'd like my lobbies hardly had any KBAM gamers. It was like all controller the whole time.
Yeah. I don't think console should be able to disable crossplay. You don't really, if you're on a current gen console, you really don't have any disadvantages compared to PC, honestly. Unless you're talking like an insane PC, like a 5K plus PC. But even then, the advantage that affords you over like a PS5 are negligible. You guys have good frames now. You have 120 hertz. You have field of view slider. These are all in line with the vast majority of PCs. So I don't think being able to disable crossplay makes sense because you're just diluting the player base.
Yeah.
For what? You know, I think the argument is console players should be able to disable it so they don't run into cheaters, but that's not really a problem anymore. At least not nearly as much as it used to be. So no. Now you're gonna get fucked if you're on a last gen console, but if you're on a last gen console, you're gonna be as disadvantaged against PC as you will be against current gen consoles. So
yeah, true.
So like the only way that would make sense is if you could only queue with other last gen consoles, which I think would be absurd. So
yeah.
So no, I don't think so. This is interesting. From the Super Gay White Knight, GC Burgers, friend of the pod. What special additions do any of your 2 families have, or that you know of, that take a generic version of a meal to the next level? A little special family recipe. This is a good question because I've got 2 in mind.
You go ahead first, and I gotta think.
Okay. Well, I have one kind of, and then maybe another one. So one of them is broccoli, and I've talked about this. You put broccoli and a bunch of olive oil into a fucking pan, put it on the stove, and you like the olive oil like burns on like the florets almost, and it gets like soaked into those leaves, and then a fuck ton of garlic too. And it is the best broccoli I've ever had from anywhere, ever. And I like broccoli too, so I'll eat broccoli at like restaurants or whatever. So I've had a lot of broccoli in my life. That is easily the best broccoli I've ever had. It's like super like moisture-y, like wet. Not wet, but like it's got a lot of juice. And the garlic, it tastes phenomenal, dude. I don't know. And it's so simple too. You literally put broccoli in a pan with olive oil and then garlic, and that's it. And then it's like the florets, the heads of the broccoli will look like brown, like dark brown, because it just soaks up all the olive oil that has all the garlic in it. It sounds so basic, but it's so fucking good. I've never had broccoli that good before. And there's all kinds of insane broccoli things people do, where they do the most, as the kids say. And it's not as good as this. It's just so good. Because olive oil's fantastic, broccoli's fantastic, and garlic is the best single ingredient you can add to food. There's no better ingredient than garlic. So if you just add that to anything, it's going to be good. It's so fucking, it's incredibly good. And then another thing is, I don't know if this is a normal dish that gets like elevated or whatever. This is a real white trash meal. It's It's oh God, what is it? No, it's not barley. It's oh my God, I'm forgetting what it is. It's like potatoes. Yeah, I think it's a potato dish, and we put a bunch of butter in it in like a casserole thing.
Scallop potatoes, au gratin potatoes.
No, not scallop. No, just like I think just like mash. I actually don't know what it is now. I don't eat it because my shit family puts onions in it, but without the onions, it's really good. But yeah, I think it's potato, bunch of butter, and then cornflakes on the top,
just to make it crunchy.
And then and then bake all of it, and it's really, really, really good. But they put onions in it because they like onions, and it ruins it for me. But
so cheese on it?
Without onions, there's cheese. Yeah.
Almost sounds like really some sort of like good. Twice baked potato that they do.
Yeah, maybe something like that. But cornflakes
like in a casserole
is like the
dish
secret
or something.
Ingredient. I didn't know this was like a thing people don't do until I started getting older. And every time someone would come over, but like if I had a girlfriend or Damien brought a girl over, or
never,
or like family would come over, haha, good one. They would always comment like, "Oh, I've never seen someone put cornflakes in this." And then through that, I was like, "Oh, I guess people don't do this normally. This isn't like a normal thing." So, I don't know.
Yeah, for me, probably two of them. One of them I talked about and everyone made fun of me for, but they've never tried it. Having rice with chicken pot pie will make it so much fucking better. I cannot even explain how much better it makes it. Some buttery rice, put the chicken pot pie on top, kind of mix it in, get bites of that. Makes it way more filling, way more tasty. Oh my God, it's good. That's a good. I thought that was like normal, but apparently it's not. It's really good. I don't like eating chicken pot pie without rice now. It's weird to me. It's like missing something. And the other one is like not a special edition or like a family thing, but now I've always liked pot roast, but since I found the Mississippi pot roast recipe, which is a bunch of pepperoncinis with pot roast, I don't ever want to eat regular pot roast again. It is so much better having that type of Mississippi pot roast. In case you guys don't know, it's super basic. You sear a big slab of what's the beef called? It's a certain cut of beef. It's like 3 pounds. I cannot think what it's called, but it's whatever you use for pot roast. Yeah, like a 3 to 4 pound piece of chuck roast. Sear each side for a couple minutes. Throw it in a crock pot. 1 packet of au jus seasoning. 1 packet of ranch dressing seasoning. 1 whole stick of butter, salted or unsalted, whatever you want. I just add salted, then I don't add any more. You don't need add any more salt. Sounds like a lot, but it's a massive piece of meat. So, and then you add like 10 pepperoncinis, some of the juice from the jar. Cover that bitch on high or low. I think it's high for like 6-7 hours. Oh my God! Put it over some cheesy, garlicky mashed potatoes. Out of this world. I don't ever want to eat regular pot roast again. It is so much better. So much better. Sierra doesn't even like beef that much. She does not like pot roast at all. Like growing up when like my parents would make pot roast, like I love pot roast. I'd be like, "Oh, do you want to come over for dinner?" Like my mom's making pot roast and she's like, "Ugh, I don't really like pot roast." I'm like, "Okay, then fuck you, bitch. Stay
She's
home."
Mexican, right?
Yeah.
Mexicans are very pork oriented, I've noticed.
Really
I feel like they like their pork. Really? I mean, they like beef too, though.
They like everything, yeah.
Beef. I feel like they're mainly pork. They're porked up. Never been a big pork guy.
I don't know. When you think about like, I would say they're everything. I think more beef than pork though. Still, with like carne asada, carne asada tacos.
There's a bunch of pork things. I'm
shredded beef tacos, shredded beef enchiladas, all of that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I'm bugging. I don't know.
But even she loves this pot roast. She won't eat regular pot roast, but she loves this one. So that one I would definitely try. It's called Mississippi pot roast. Look up any recipe for it on Google. They're all about the same.
Yeah.
But fuck, it's good.
Moving on. Whitest name. Who is this? Reflex, got it. Should a 1v1 be played with radar on or off, and why? This is a good question, actually.
Off.
Radar means like constant UAV.
You should, yeah.
You say off, really?
Absolutely.
Tell me more.
Well, they're playing it on like gunfight maps. So just turn it off. You can see the person. You know where they're at. You don't need to have radar always on. Just dumb. Doesn't make any sense.
What if it's on Rust?
Well, don't play a 1v1 on Rust. That's what I would say.
That's what everyone does, though.
I don't think so. Everyone that played 1v1s in MW19, every single 100% of the time it was on Speedball, and they still played radar on.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's like the console weird CDL controller thing to do. I don't get it. Radar always on. Why? I don't know. Why don't you see right where they're spawning the instant they spawn? I don't know. Dumb.
I think you want radar on because if they spawn behind you, you just get killed from behind and you get punished for having killed them just now.
Well, you'll pretty much know immediately based on where you're standing, where they're what general area they're going to spawn in. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, but I would say radar on. Yeah. Because
super nerd.
Getting shot in the back is just cringe in a 1v1. Because then you could just also like camp. If you want to be like a rat.
Yeah.
Just kill them and then go to some other corner. Yeah. I would say definitely radar on. Yeah. Because, I mean, every gunfight's pretty much going to be heads up. Either way. And if it's not, then someone just cheese the other person. So you want every gunfight to be heads up. So I would say radar on, yeah. This is a difficult question from Benjamin G. What would have to be done to make semi-auto marksman and tac rifles, so DMRs, viable in Warzone? And would you want to see that? Things like the FAL, I guess now it would be like the EBR, and there's other ones. I have Orion, but I forget the names of the rest of them. How would you make those viable in Warzone?
Well, for Warzone,
without making them overpowered is the important addendum that was not added here.
The number one thing we talked about a lot during Caldera was they need to use AR ammo. They were unusable because you could only use sniper rifle ammo, and there was no backpack system in that game either, so you had 40 to 60 rounds of sniper ammo. You're out of ammo, and then the gun's of no use to you. Can't do anything with it. So what would you have to do to make them viable? AR ammo.
Which they probably use now.
Every other gun in the game needs to have a lot of recoil. Like, this is an ideal game for guns like that, because weapons have recoil at range and snipers don't one-tap. There haven't been too many people I've seen experiment with like semi-auto marksman rifles in this game. I know Jax keeps posting like an EBR build or something that he said's really good. I don't believe him though. But this game that we have right now makes way more sense to have a meta like that than it did in Caldera when we had, ARs with no recoil that were fully automatic. Why would you ever use a semi-automatic gun that uses sniper ammo? There's no place for them. So I think what we have right now is a good place to use them. I personally haven't tried any. I personally probably never will.
You're right.
Because I don't know, because you can't build it to have low enough recoil and good enough velocity, I feel, with like a sniper scope to make sense. So then at that point, you're using like some other oddly zoomed scope, like a Schlager or a VLK, or there's like a weird 5x scopes. But then you're going to have shit aiming stability usually. I don't know.
If you're shooting one at a time, though, I think you could play around with most of that. I would have to try it. I imagine it's not that good because no one's doing it. But
that's where I'm at, yeah.
But you're right, though. In theory, like for those odd 100-meter gunfights, like a marksman rifle would make a lot of sense if it had enough velocity. That's what I was going to say, is if you want to make them viable in Warzone 2, they would have to have a lot of bullet velocity so that there was a reason to use it over an AR. And that reason would be to kill people that are farther away. Your like max effective range for a human being should be like 40, 50 meters more than an AR in those hands. That's what would make them viable. Because then you'd still get dumped on by a full auto gun up close. But the balance to that is you would dump on a full auto gun at like medium long range. and then at long range you'd get sniped. You'd get dumped on by a sniper. That would be the ideal. And by the way, that's kind of how they're used in like real life, ostensibly. Like you use like an EBR for like pretty long range like engagements.
Yeah.
You know. So that could be mirrored in Warzone too, and it actually kind of does make sense because yeah, full auto guns with zoom can't really do it in Warzone.
Not at all.
That's why no one's doing it. So to have a gun like a marksman rifle that actually makes sense to put a VLK on, because since it's semi-auto, you can control it more easily, and your like practical TTK is way faster than an AR. That would be really cool. I actually want to try that because maybe it is viable. But the number one issue I can imagine running into would be not enough velocity. But you probably could have, it would probably have enough velocity if you put the high velocity rounds on there. But I think whether or not that is already true, it should have a lot more base bullet velocity than ARs do.
Yeah.
That might even be true. I don't know. But if it's not, it should be. That would be another benefit. It would make it just that much easier to be using them at that range. That's actually something I want to try, though, because I'm thinking about it. An EBR seems like it'd be really good with like a VLK if you wanted to like shoot at people far away. That'd be really good.
Yeah.
I think in theory.
Worth trying. You can build them to have not very much recoil, but then you're going to have, I think, pretty shit ADS probably.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
For sure. But that's how I build my RPK already. My RPK ADS is pretty fucking slow.
I know, it is annoying. It does ADS slow.
But since it has a red dot, if I can pre-aim someone even at 10 meters, I'm fine. And with an EBR, you'd be fucked in that situation. So it would be like balanced. Yeah. I would like to try that. That's a good question, Ben.
Yeah.
But that's what I would say. The more difficult question is how would you balance burst fire weapons in Warzone? And I actually think the answer would be largely the same. Like, give them... I don't think burst weapons should be in the AR category. And if they are like an M16, it just should be shit. Honestly. I think like a burst fire weapon should be like in like the marksman category. And it should likewise have very high base bullet velocity.
Mm-hmm.
And then like you use it the same way we just envision using a DMR. But I don't think any gun exists that could be done to. So I think that's kind of a moot point for Warzone 2. I don't think any of the marksman rifles are. The only burst fire guns in M16, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
With the bullet velocity thing too, True Game Data put out a video this morning. It's now been out for at least a week since you guys are hearing this, but pretty interesting. I think in general, really, a lot of the barrels aren't worth running in Warzone. Pretty much with every gun you want to run high velocity rounds because it is like it's 43 to like 48% increase in velocity, and the suppressors that increase velocity increase it by up to like 28-29%. And
wow.
Every barrel, he only tested snipers, but he's thinking this is the same for all gun categories from what he's seen. But the barrels, like the longest barrels on the snipers, only increase velocity at the most by like, I think the highest one was maybe 15%. They were usually like 10 to 12%. And he was like, so it's just not worth running barrels like pretty much ever, especially for snipers, because you're just destroying your ADS speed and only getting like an extra 10%. Whereas like with the bullet velocity rounds and a suppressor, you're increasing your velocity by like 70% or so. So that was kind of interesting to see. So you can kind of build those more for like ADS speed if you want. Because I have a barrel on my MCPR build right now. I know. I think I have a barrel over a suppressor because I figured it would give you more velocity. Because that way makes way more sense realistically.
That does make way more sense. Yeah.
But that's not the way they made it in the game. Yeah.
It could be worth running barrels on other types of guns though, if they increase your damage range by a lot.
Yeah. I haven't seen anyone really test that, what the damage range increases are for like AR barrels.
Probably negligible if I had to guess, to be honest. So that's a good
So I think that's going to change how I build most of my guns. I don't know if I'm even going to run barrels on like any of them.
Yeah, good question. Next from Salty O Rhombus. Machiavelli, would you rather be loved or feared?
By who? Everyone?
Yeah. Let's go with everyone.
Loved, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it has to be loved, right?
I'm not trying to be a dictator, so I don't need to be feared.
And if you're feared, if you're like sick one day, they'll say, oh, now's my chance, and kill you. But if you're loved and you're sick one day, they'll bring you chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
You know?
Eggs of soup, man. Yeah, nice. True.
Yeah. I would absolutely rather be loved, yeah. Wait, yeah. Yeah, weird question. I'm not a caliph, so I don't care. Okay, moving on. Favorite Kovacs drills for Warzone? Stop. Beige Marauder again. With all the ways to redeploy in Warzone, how do you feel about self-res not being a thing or having it very expensive at a buy? And that's the only way it's obtainable. I think we've answered this already.
Expensive or super rare, one of those things. Or both of them.
Yeah, this was asked in the Caldera era as well, but I'm pretty sure we answered this. I think you asked in Patreon Q&A
And now
questions.
you can, use even more. Now you can have 4 self-reses on you at one time. I wonder if they're ever going to start limiting that. I wonder if that's going to be a change they make in the future with the backpack system, which would kind of defeat the purpose of their backpack system, because you should be able to put whatever you want in it, right? But that's where the flaw is. So it's like, are we ever going to see limits? Like, you can only carry 2 self-revives, 1, Because if they end up making that change, then their whole backpack system is just, there was no reason to do it.
I don't think they will. I think they'll just
I can see them doing it, because the games are already, end game has been completely ruined by streaks. I know you haven't played a ton of Warzone, but the end games are chalk now. Everyone calls in a streak on you as immediately when you shoot. You cannot rotate. You can't do anything. It's really, really, really bad.
Who told you guys months ago?
Everyone must be, like, each team, if you're playing quads, that team has probably 6 streaks end game. It's awful.
Yep.
Jake even said that when we were playing yesterday, day before. He was like, dude, we thought the streaks were bad in Caldera. This game is so much fucking worse. Because they're just everywhere, too. You get them out of so many chests.
Yeah,
they can start by reducing the spawn
rates. I've called in 500. There's a lot.
Yeah, you're right.
They need to not drop out of strongholds.
I don't even think they sell them at half of... I don't think you can even buy a mortar strike at a buy station. I don't think I've ever seen one. I've seen precision airstrikes and UAVs. But yet I get clustered every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, who could have saw that coming? Anyway.
Certainly not the devs who designed it.
Yeah.
They don't use brains. They just loaded up the backpack with thousands of rounds of sniper rifle ammo, even they're using an AR and an SMG.
Died before they reloaded, yeah. Moving on. Steel Switch. This is a good question. I'm going to get some water after this. What was something you thought was really cool when you were a kid, but looking back now is completely stupid?
I think it mostly relates to clothing and stuff. The way you dressed, the way you presented yourself. But every kid goes through that growing up pretty much, Looking back now, probably wearing like tight pants and shit. Wearing tight jeans, super tight jeans at times. That was awful. People don't do that anymore. That's not the meta strat for kids any longer. I think they just vape instead. That's also super cringe, vaping. Imagine vaping.
And do Adderall. Yeah.
Yeah,
and dye their hair.
What else was cool?
Here's the thing about this. I thought things were really cool as a kid that I don't think are cool now. But I'm also not a kid anymore. Like, I don't think it was stupid. So, like, I used to, like, play with, like, little Spider-Man fucking action figures. Or, like, these little aliens. Dude. Oh, my God. I wonder if I could find the bag. I have this bag full of these little aliens, dude. They're like little tiny aliens. And they're all doing different shit. It's like, there's, like, a skateboarding one. One's, like, on a microphone. One, like, has a gun. I have, like, 100+ of them. I bet you I could find it, too. I know I kept it. And when I was a kid, you would find these. I don't remember where all of them were, but I'm not kidding, like 100 of them.
Super nerd.
And a lot of places we would get them is going to like a random like restaurant or arcade or something. It would be like a gumball machine, but with these little buds in them. You put 25 cents in, turn the thing, and a little alien pops out, and I'd add it to my collection. And I would play with these all the time when I was like young.
Interesting.
Now I wouldn't do that now. But I don't think it's stupid either, because I was 6 years old. But like, kids like childish things. I think it's childish, but it wasn't stupid for me to be into things that were created to be entertaining to someone at that age, you know? I don't know. I don't have a good answer for this, really. I mean, we all go through like the cringe little phases or whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
Like dressing weird or whatever.
Yeah, see,
but
everyone goes through that pretty much, so I don't know.
Yeah, like it wasn't stupid at the time. You know, I don't know. I wasn't ever into anything like... Yeah, no, I don't know.
If anything, I was the opposite. Like, everyone else was like, oh, drinking in high school, so cool. Smoking in high school, so cool. And I was the opposite. I was like, you guys are dumb. So I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't start being a DJ until after high school, actually. I didn't really drink in high school either. Until like the last half my senior year is when I started to. Which was late. I regret it. I wish I would have started drinking sooner. It would have been more fun. But anyway. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that. But anyway, moving on. Oh, this is a funny question from Steel Switch. This is easy to answer though. What smells great but tastes bad, and what smells bad and tastes great? This is a great question. Smells great and tastes bad. I mean, this is like a limitless list, right? So like any candle, for example, smells great, tastes terrible. If you're talking about food, what food smells good and tastes bad? I actually don't have a good answer. There probably are things, but I don't know. But a ton of things that are just barely edible taste bad, obviously. And smells bad but tastes great. I know that there's something I really like that doesn't smell good, but it tastes really good. Certainly certain types of cheese. There are types of cheese that I like that don't smell great, but they taste really good, and I like them a lot.
Yeah, see, I think the bad smelling cheeses usually don't taste good either.
I can't name a specific cheese.
Like cheeses that are kind of similar to Swiss usually have like an odd smell to it.
Dude, I know there's a food that smells
blue cheese
not
dressing
good that I really like.
Smells kind of shitty but tastes excellent. That could be one of them.
Yeah, I could go with that.
Candles is a good one. I'm burning a candle out there right now. Some sort of Christmas candle. Smells great. Probably wouldn't taste very good if I ate the wax though.
Yeah, probably not.
It actually probably would taste good. I could go eat it. You want me to take a bite of a candle right now?
Yeah, do a little taste test.
Yeah, surely.
I know there's something I really like. I can't think of what it is, but there's a specific thing that I don't like the smell of that tastes really good.
I don't really like the smell of curry. That tastes pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. There's a Mediterranean place I really like, and I always get from there. It's like a bowl with like delicious rice on the bottom, and then a bunch of chicken shawarma like chopped up on top. Every time I open that sucker, smells not good, but it tastes amazing. It doesn't smell terrible, but it does not smell. It's not a pleasant smell when you like first open it, especially. It's like, ooh, it's too much, but it tastes really good. I think that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
So, interestingly enough, I'm pretty much the opposite. I think chicken and beef shawarma smell excellent. I try to like them and I don't. The seasonings they use on them are fucking awful. I keep thinking I'm going to like it. I keep trying them. They taste like shit. It's like too much cinnamon or something. There's some weird flavor they have that I can't do. Like I always think it's going to be good.
The spices.
Ashley was here one night, so her and Sierra ordered we DoorDashed like some sort of Mediterranean food. And I was like, oh, chicken shawarma, or I got beef shawarma, which was a mistake. Ashley even asked, like, have you had beef shawarma? Like, yeah, I think I like it. She's like, oh, okay, I was just making sure. So I ate it.
Chicken shawarma, I like.
Took a few bites. I'm like, that was pretty good. Then I'm like, I really don't like the taste of the meat. And then I tried Sierra's chicken. I'm like, oh fuck, this is good. Then I took like another bite, and I'm like, I don't like the taste of the chicken anymore. I don't know. It's their food smells so good. It's like grilled hot chicken, but then it just tastes weird. I can't do the spices, man. That's it's just, strange. I think it's, I swear to God, it has like cinnamon or something in it that ruined. There's one specific flavor that I do not like about it.
I wonder what it would be. It could be cinnamon. I'm thinking turmeric.
There's gotta be
like curry. It's not.
There's gotta be some sort of. It's got allspice in it. Maybe that. It's that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's unfortunate for you because chicken shawarma is so good.
There is cinnamon. There's a lot of cinnamon. There's cinnamon and nutmeg. That's probably what I don't like.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Cardamom. I don't really know what that tastes like, actually. But it's got allspice, cinnamon. It's got a lot of cinnamon and nutmeg. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what I don't like. I was right. Cinnamon. I don't like powdered cinnamon. I never like the taste of it.
Even on like a dessert?
I love like cinnamon rolls and stuff, but when it comes to like powdered cinnamon, it does not taste right to me. I don't know. It's just weird. Like even a lot of those powdered things do like when you go to like Starbucks and get like a
cinnamon dolce.
No, like a pumpkin spice drink or something, like an ice cold brew pumpkin cream cold brew. They put some dog shit seasoning on the top, and that ruins it for me. I have to ask without that, because like just that little bit of fucking powdered seasoning they put at the top, that's like cinnamon and whatever other flavors, awful, ruins the whole drink for me if they put that on there. And I get pissed if they put it on there when I order it. No, which they do all the time because they're incompetent. And that pisses me off. So I think I just don't like the taste of powdered cinnamon.
That's so weird.
That's what ruins.
Do you remember the cinnamon challenge?
Yes.
Did you ever do it?
No, of course not. Why would I ever do that?
Yeah.
No one can swallow it. Why would I ever do it?
Dude, I remember, you probably never met him, but Michael has a cousin named Adam, and he went to South Hills with me. And I think he's like a year younger than me, but there was like 2 years where I hung out with him a lot because we went to the same high school, obviously. And one day it was me, him, and Michael were hanging out during the cinnamon challenge era. And he was like, I could do it.
What a fucking idiot. And
we were like, dude, like, it's not even possible. It's not like you're not built different. Like, it's not possible to do it. He's like, dude, I swear I can do it. We were like, all right.
Everyone always
we would love to watch you try.
Right?
Like, I would love to watch you try. Just, you're definitely not going to be able to do it. So we go out back Michael's house, takes a spoon, gets the cinnamon, all confident, puts it in his mouth, and just immediately fails. Just
spits it all out.
Fit,
yeah.
All kinds of cinnamon coming out. Michael and I just crying, laughing. Like, you're so dumb, dude.
What a fucking idiot.
It was so stupid. It's so funny, though. But yeah, like, we knew, like, dude, this isn't possible. It's like drinking a gallon of milk or whatever. Like, it's literally not possible.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it. It was really funny, though.
Yeah, so I think that's it for me. A lot of the Mediterranean smells really good. Well, not a lot. It's just the shawarma. I don't like the spices on the shawarma.
They make the best rice on earth.
They make the best rice on earth. Their little side salads they'll throw in are great too. It's got like lettuce and a lot of cucumbers usually. The pita bread, amazing. If you just get like chicken or beef kebab, those taste great. But it's just something about the garlic sauce. By the way, the garlic sauce is amazing.
Yeah, of course.
It's whatever is in the shawarma. I'm realizing now I do not like shawarma.
What about hummus?
It's fine. I eat it at Mediterranean places. I'm never the person to like go to a store and like buy hummus and dip it in like with fucking pita chips. I don't like the taste that much, but when you get with Mediterranean food, you add some hummus to their rice and then you put some of the garlic sauce, you mix it all up, get a bite of the chicken. Here's what you do actually. You rip off a piece of the pita, you put some of the rice, garlic sauce, and hummus on the pita, a little slab of it with a fork. You know, we're talking about a pretty small piece of pita here. Put about a chicken kebab or like half of the piece of chicken on there. Put that bitch on there, take a bite. It's so fucking good, man. It is excellent. You got to mix it all together, but if I'm just like if I'm taking a bite of hummus with nothing else, I don't like it.
Oh yeah,
It doesn't taste good.
Pita
It's good
plus
mixed
hummus.
with other things.
Pita plus hummus is where I'm at. Yeah, I think your opinion's fair though. It's fine. That's okay. That's okay to think that. I like it a lot now, but I had to eat it a bunch to get it from it's fine to I actually like this a lot. I had to get there. Yeah.
It doesn't smell good when you do like hummus is like blended chickpeas, right? Yeah. I don't know if you've ever opened up a can of chickpeas. Disgusting fucking smell. They do not smell good at all. At all.
Interesting.
Yeah, at all.
The Greeks figured out a couple of the best things you can add to food, which are, like we talked about, olive oil, which is on everything, and garlic, which is on everything. That's why their food is so good. All you need, olive oil and garlic, add it to all the things you make, and it's going to be goated. Yeah, big Greek guy. What are your thoughts on lamb?
Don't eat it often. I've actually really been itching to make lamb chops. I've never made them, and I've got 2 recent TikToks on my feed that were people cooking lamb chops. I'm like, I gotta do this. I always used to be like scared of it, but it's like
they are.
That's the it looks easy to make. Usually buy like a lamb roast, so it's like a prime rib roast, bone in. There's like 6 or 7 bones from what I've seen. You just slice them up. They're like basically like bite-sized little. There's not a whole lot of meat on them, so you slice it down the middle. You know, you grill each one. With some seasonings or whatever on there. And then it's not a ton of meat, but it looks really good. There's a place in downtown Disney when we had Disneyland season passes. We went there a few times.
Cringe.
That I got a lamb burger from. Excellent.
Really?
Really good. Yeah.
Damn.
Great tasting.
I've only had like lamb kebab, but I really like it every time I have it.
Yeah.
It's really good. Great meat. Yeah, it seems like it would be not that hard to make. Like if you can make chicken without drying it out, you could definitely make
It's closer
lamb.
to steak. I would say if you can cook a steak, you can cook lamb. You probably cook it to the same internal temperature. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Anyway.
I need to make
Urban
lamb chops.
House fire. What 3 items or pets, weird, are you grabbing in your sprint to get out of there?
I mean, it would have to be pets. And I have 5 pets, so grabbing 3 is kind of unfortunate.
Well, you have cats, so they're going to be out of the house before you. I don't think you need to worry about them.
Well, you have to let them out at least. They can't just escape. You have to open the door.
Okay, that's fair.
No, see, the thing is, though, a couple of them are super skittish. I don't know what they do. I feel like they would just try to like hide in a corner in the house instead of run outside. Yeah. I'd have to grab the girl cat, Buffy, for sure. She's super skittish. Teddy and Spike, they'd be fine. I could just throw them outside and they'll be fine.
Alinity a few.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Alinity.
Yeah, friend of the pond.
So probably my cat Buffy, probably my cat Angel, because if he gets outside, we're never finding him. He's gone forever. And then probably our cat Gus, who's super skittish of other people. He's fine with us. I'd have to grab all 3 of them.
Yeah. I would grab my dog, Kai, maybe. I don't know if I would need to. So if I needed to, I'd grab my dogs. But I don't think I would need to be honest. I feel like animals
Dogs are easier to catch. Like cats can like fucking go up in trees and not come down. Dogs are just going to run around on the street somewhere. You'll find them eventually, usually, unless they get hit by a car.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about that. They like it here, too. They've run away and come back, and we didn't know.
Yeah.
We've left our gate open before. They run away for like 20 minutes. They come back. And then I get a text from Alex like, oh, your dog's like outside or whatever. And I go downstairs to go catch him and he's just chilling in the backyard.
That's funny.
I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, you came back. But anyway, yeah. I don't know. Things that I could actually grab, like I would want my computer mostly, but I can't grab that during a house fire. So
you could just rip all the cables out of the back real quick and grab that tower.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think I would though. Cause I don't know. Depends how crazy the fire is, but I mean, obviously like my wallet, I don't know if that counts, and my cell phone, definitely.
Yeah, you didn't even think of those, yeah.
And then...
Yeah, I would take my cell phone and let my cats burn. That's a joke, of course. I wouldn't do that.
And my vape, I guess.
Stop.
Vape Nation.
There's no way you just said your vape in a house fire.
Dude,
That's one
I
of
don't know
3
what
items
else
you
I
would
would
take.
possibly take.
You don't want your
There's
pillow,
my
man?
dogs, my computer, and then like my cell phone, my wallet, and my keys. Everything else I don't really give a shit about. I don't know.
That's crazy.
That I'm actually going to be able to like grab, yeah. Like maybe this monitor, I guess.
Important documents would be a great one. I have a safe,
yeah,
but it's
but
not
it's
a fireproof
2022.
safe.
Oh, but they'd burn on my computer. Shit. Ooh, fuck.
That's why you got to get that PC out of there, man.
Yeah, I got to get it out. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, this isn't the 1800s anymore. There's nothing crazy. I don't have like a fucking safe or like gold bars or some shit anywhere.
Yeah,
so.
a bunch of thousands of dollars in cash.
Yeah, so.
I mean, you only have hundreds of dollars and it's in a bank account, so.
Well, false, but maybe after this fucking mortgage. Anyway. Hib! In the earlier days of the podcast, multiplayer was a much more inclusive part of the program. Are you happy, sad, indifferent that it has largely become a Warzone podcast? This is a good question.
Yeah, there were a lot of those feelings because I would have loved to talk about multiplayer, but no one gave a shit about Vanguard, including us. A month and a half into the game, So, then we liked doing Warzone only until Caldera got so fucking miserable that I never wanted to say the word Caldera or Warzone again. So then that got pretty damn rough too. So there was like a month or two probably where just so burnt out on Warzone, didn't want to fucking talk about it at all. And then it was too early to start talking about MW2 and Warzone 2. So once we started getting news on those, boy, was I glad to talk about that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was a lot of those things. Like obviously, I would much rather talk about everything. I would love if we found DMZ fun too. We could talk about DMZ a lot, but in its current iteration, we just don't find it interesting at all.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked this, Pib, because this is something that probably some of you get confused. We don't make primarily like Warzone content or multiplayer content or whatever because those are like the trendiest things necessarily. It's more like we are going to do content mostly on what Tanner and I are mostly playing, and whatever we're mostly playing is what we're enjoying the most. So it's not like we saw Warzone being super popular and then leaned into that because it's popular.
Yeah.
It's more correct to say Warzone was super popular because, for all of its faults, it was a really fun game mode, especially in comparison to the multiplayer of that game. So because it was so fun, it was really popular, and that attracted a lot of people, including us. So that's what we enjoyed playing the most for a long time. And therefore our podcast content reflected that. But we've never these things are always going to line up though. So you could just not believe us, I guess. But things that are really popular are things Tanner and I are probably going to like about Call of Duty. Because there's a reason those things are popular, In the early days, we didn't even know Warzone was going to exist. So yeah, it was 100% multiplayer focused because that's all we played. When we started the podcast, that was the idea, was to talk about multiplayer. And that's it. Because that's, as far as we knew, that's all there was.
There may have been rumors at that time
players.
about a BR coming, but we didn't really care. I don't think anyone cared until the game dropped. No one really had interest in Warzone.
1, I don't think there were even rumors yet. Maybe there were.
Well, I don't know. We started in late January, early February, so that was only like a month away. I think there were a lot of rumors at that point that there may be a battle royale coming to COD.
Yeah, maybe. But no, I'm indifferent about it. That it's become largely a Warzone podcast, and I think that changes too. I don't think it's like always going to be all about Warzone or whatever, and in fact, it's not. I mean, look in November, we did a ton of multiplayer content and a lot of Warzone content too. But I think we even did more multiplayer content. This is always going to just ebb and flow based on what's getting updated, what we're playing, what we are enjoying. And so that's kind of always how it's going to be. So I would imagine for the most part going forward, we're going to be talking more about Warzone than multiplayer, but that's because we're going to be playing more Warzone than multiplayer, and because they're going to be supporting Warzone more than multiplayer. you know. So I'm indifferent about it. It's certainly a surprise. I'd be surprised looking back or looking forward if I could tell episode 1, Casey, that we were going to be mostly talking about a Call of Duty BR. He'd be surprised, but I don't think it's a bad thing. Because that's what most of you guys are playing anyway. So, this is a question, Steel Switch. How do you select your bacon when you go shopping?
I usually just go with Farmer John bacon. That's usually what I go with. Farmer John. Sometimes I go with a thick cut, sometimes I don't. Because a lot of times when they say thick cut, it's really not that thick. It's more like the standard cut thickness that I would want. And then their other shit is like paper thin. But I don't know. I don't experiment too much with bacon. Usually I just get Farmer John's and move on. Or Trader Joe's like actually has really good bacon. It's like Applewood smoked, I think it's called. That's my favorite bacon probably. But I don't go to Trader Joe's often, so I usually don't get it.
That's what I would imagine you would do. Find a brand of bacon you like and then just buy that.
Yeah.
They seem fairly regular.
Well, just bacon my mom orders from every Christmas.
It's not like steak where you actually should look at it. You know?
You can, though, because some bacon has a lot more fat on it than others. And like when you look at some of the bacon in the packages, you'll see like, holy shit, there's no meat on that. That entire piece of bacon is all fat, which mostly that's what bacon is pretty much. But a lot of them do have way more meat on it.
Interesting.
But yeah, I just go with Farmer John's and move on. Usually I get whatever is on sale.
Yeah.
Bacon. There's always a bacon on sale, and I usually just get that. It usually ends up being Farmer John's.
Urban, at the pool, sunscreen or not?
Yes.
Obviously.
Numerous times a day, and I still get burnt. So yeah.
Yeah, look at us. Yeah, I have to.
I would lather.
I used to hate putting on sunscreen as a kid, but I've been through enough sunburns and 3rd-degree burns to where I don't do that anymore.
Oh yeah, I was the same thing. Yep. Wouldn't want to.
You ever gotten blisters before?
Oh yeah, miserable.
Yep. I got a ton on both my shoulders, and my mom was like scared. She was like, called the doctor. She's like, should I pop these or not? The doctor's like, no, don't put on more sunscreen next time or whatever. Yeah. So then I was that's when I entered the water shirt meta.
Oh, you're a little water shirt bitch.
Were you ever on the water shirt meta?
No, I wasn't that big of a pussy.
It was purely to just not have to put on sunscreen. It was fantastic, actually.
Yeah, that's smart, actually.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable wearing them. That's what my thing was. But
it was.
Yeah.
But it was worth it.
Yeah, when we were in Hawaii this last time, I would reapply 3-4 times a day, and I'd still end up burnt on certain parts of my body from that trip. It's mostly on the top of my shoulders. Yeah. Top of my shoulders, back of my neck, it got pretty red. Not so much that it was miserable, though, but it, like, for a day or two, it was like wearing clothes was uncomfortable, like wearing a shirt. I was like, oh, this is fucking annoying. But not like a ton of actual pain.
Yeah. Looking for a next question here. Oh, this is interesting. From B-Made. Should reloading be possible while sprinting or not?
Yes. I don't think I would care so much now if we never had it in Warzone 1. If we were never able to sprint and plate in Warzone 1,
reloading.
I would have... Oh, reloading.
I think it should function like...
Huh.
So in Warzone 1, you can sprint and plate, but you'll be sprinting slower than normal. I feel like reloading should be the same. Like, you should be able to walk and reload, and you should be able to sprint and reload, which is faster than walk and reload, but slower than sprinting without reloading. I think that would be good. Because in real life, I don't know, I've never reloaded a gun before, but I feel like I couldn't be at a fucking full-ass sprint and reload at the same time.
You could sprint and reload, it's not hard.
Really?
If you can hold a gun, you can sprint and reload. I mean, even Tarkov, they try to make realism. You can sprint full speed and fucking reload in that game.
Yeah, true. Then yeah, I guess so.
Because it's like, if you're wearing a rig, all you do is, while you're sprinting, for one finger, dump your mag, grab the other mag from your rig, throw that bitch in. It's not, that's easy enough to do. But For how
It's
COD
not
plays and the
game-breaking
way it
either.
is, no, I think you should be able to sprint
Yeah,
and reload.
I think
yeah,
you should too.
it'd speed up
'Cause
the
it's not
game a lot, especially like
game-breaking.
multiplayer. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a good thing, in fact, yeah. Yeah, it is kind of silly you can't, actually, you're right.
Yeah,
It's funny, because you're right, you can in Tarkov, and you can't in COD.
yeah.
That's so weird.
You can
Yeah.
you can full sprint and jump in Tarkov while reloading too. You can be jumping midair if you start the reload.
Yeah. So, anyway, moving on. Salty, what's your approach to liking YouTube comments on your channel? Do you use blanket like, or is there some kind of a distinction? I like every single comment. I heart every single comment. I read them. If I liked and hearted your comment, I read it. But it's not like I agree or disagree with you when I do that. I'm just doing it. It's basically an acknowledgement that I've read your comment.
Yeah.
So that's it. But yeah, no, it's not an endorsement of what you said. It's not a denunciation necessarily, but yeah, it's usually just like, oh, okay, cool. Engagement. Thanks. Like and heart.
Yeah, true.
Because the thing about our YouTube channel, we'll usually get like 10 comments or so on like a podcast episode. And most of the comments I actually do like and agree with. But it would feel really weird to like 9 out of the 10 comments and then not like the one where the guy is like, no, I'm glad you can't play it while sprinting.
Yeah.
Like I disagree with that. But it would feel weird to like every single other person's comment and not that person's. Because I want dissent, you know? So if we were bigger, I would not do it to every comment or whatever. But yeah, there's no rhyme or reason right now. Just blanket. Yeah. So there you go.
Yep.
Next is from Jax. This is a crazy question. Have you ever fallen asleep mid-game playing late at night?
I've never fallen asleep.
How the fuck would that happen?
I've never even fallen asleep at my chair ever. No.
I've fallen asleep in my chair, but not in the middle of a game. Never. I can't imagine that happening. If I'm even fucking remotely close to being that tired, I have long since turned off the game. That's crazy.
Yeah, true.
That's so crazy. Yeah, no. Literally never. I can't imagine. I would have to be like really, really, really drunk for this to happen. That's the only way I could envision it. And even so, that's never happened. So, no, of course not. So. All right, what do we got next here, Tanner? Pick our next one, buddy.
Steel Switch 712.
Okay. What feels best? A good stretch after sitting for a while with popping in the joints, cracking in the joints, or a large vibrating fart that has been chambered for a while?
Of course it's the stretch. I can't believe you even put the fart in the same category. And spit gif whoever voted for fart. Let's see who they are. Steel Switch, Z-Pib, and McBango. Fuck all you guys. You think a vibrating fart feels better than a fantastic stretch? Fuck you.
I don't know. They both feel real good.
Not even farts don't feel good. It's just like, oh yeah, baby.
If it's been chambered for a while, it does. If that sucker's been bubbling,
I don't know, man. There's nothing better than a stretch. That's like the best feeling. A stretch and a sneeze
stretch
both
is a
feel
very
way
good
better.
feeling. Yeah.
Sneezes are slept on.
Sneeze. A sneeze that you've been trying to catch.
They're slept on, right?
They're pretty solid. Yeah. The thing is, you don't anticipate it for very long because you're either going to get it in 10 seconds or you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas, like, you could be sitting on a fart for a while. So then or a good piss. That should be in this list. Peeing when you have to pee really bad. That would beat all of those, by the way. If you've been on a road trip and you really have to pee so bad and you finally get to, that beats a stretch and a fart. 100%.
Yeah, I had...
God, it's a good feeling.
Dude, one time I had to pee so bad. We were on a Jeep trip, and so there was like 5 vehicles driving, so like I don't want to have to make everyone pull over just so I have to pee. We were on the highway. Gabe was with me. We went on a trip
you piss in his mouth?
the north rim of the Grand Canyon and camp there. So it was a long drive. It was probably like 5.5, 6 hours. And at one point I was like, fuck, I have to pee. And they're like, was stuff around? But like, I didn't want to make everyone stop. And then finally I was like, I got on the radio and I was like, can we pull over to the next gas station? I got to piss. And dude, I had to pee. I had already like unbuttoned my shorts or something at that point because I was like, dude, this shit, oh my God, this is painful. I got out of my Jeep and I took 2 steps and I was like, oh my God, my bladder hurts so bad. It's never hurt this bad before.
Yeah, like actual pain.
Yeah, I was like, oh fuck. Like I was like, dude, I don't even think I could walk to the bathroom. And it was a long ass walk too, because it was like, a massive highway. Massive highway gas station. It was like packed. I had to park all far away, walk so far. Oh my God, it was fucking painful though. Oh, but that felt nice once it was gone. It was one of those two where like you had to go so bad that immediately I peed for 3 minutes straight. I walk back, get inside, we start driving, and like 2 minutes later, I already have the sensation I have to go to the bathroom again.
Yeah.
Fuck, it hurt, man. But it felt good coming out.
Yeah. That's just the best.
But it was just so much pain too that it didn't even make up for how good it felt. I would take a fantastic stretch over that. God, I love stretching, man. Ah, it's so good.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Battered 2042 wife. Only slightly bad. Slightly less young, Evan. What is a more iconic duo, brownies and ice cream or milk and cookies? Come on.
Milk and chocolate chip cookies.
Obviously, milk and cookies is more iconic.
Are we going to do a live vote? Yeah, we're voting for that.
Yeah, that's a live. Yeah, community feedback is a resounding milk and cookies, by the way.
Deacon voted
a better opponent
brownie.
would be like apple pie and ice cream.
Yeah,
that's an iconic.
When I eat a brownie, I don't even usually think of having it with ice cream half the time. Usually I'm just eating a brownie.
It is really good with ice cream, but it's not iconic.
Like
milk and cookies is the iconic combo.
Like I'm almost never eating apple pie without ice cream. I'm only having it with ice cream. Like that's way more of a combo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spit GIF.
Spit GIF for sure. Favorite video game character, asks Neb, or characters? That's a great question. He said Link from Legend of Zelda, K, or Snake and Gray Fox from Metal Gear Solid, K.
Arthur Morgan, Red Dead Redemption 2, of course. I've talked about that a lot. Probably my favorite video game character ever. Besides him, see, I didn't play all those nerdy games like Zelda and shit, so I don't really have like a love for like specific characters. Yeah, like growing up, I played COD single player or COD multiplayer. I played Medal of Honor single player. I played mostly shooting games where it's like I'm just like playing the campaign to like kill people. I'm not getting into the characters. I don't care about any of the COD characters at all. Don't care. I think that's why I like Arthur Morgan so much from Red Dead, because that was like one of the few campaign stories I actually loved a ton. Like even all the other GTA characters never gave you that same feeling. It was different.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I didn't play any of the nerdy games where you get into them.
And I have like kind of the opposite problem. The games I played were so nerdy you create your own character, so that kind of doesn't count. But I still have a couple. Darth Revan, which is the player character, but you don't really know that. Knights of the Old Republic, great video game character. Darth Malik, actually, as well, in that game, is a really cool character. One of the best, my favorite video game line of all time is from Knights of the Old Republic 1. It's a cutscene where he's torturing Bastila. Says, "You are strong, child, but I will break you." And he just fucking starts zapping her. God, it's a banger scene, dude. Especially when you're 12 or whatever. It was really dope. There's another one. Garrus from Mass Effect. Big Garrus guy. Absolute friend of the pod. And I'm positive there are other ones I really like that I can't think of right now. There's like even better ones that I like more than those. I know there are. I can't think of like the games though. I can't think of who they are. There's some dope Elden Ring characters I really like. Malekith is probably the coolest boss in Elden Ring. I like that character as well. Yeah, I can't think of any more though. But there's a lot of good ones out there in the world. A lot of good ones. So, Anyway.
Super nerds.
The Avatar from Halo. I think that was his name, right? Or the Arbiter. Sorry, the Avatar.
Idea.
The Arbiter.
No idea who that is at all.
The Arbiter from Halo. That's a great character.
No
he was
idea
an elite.
and don't care.
Anyway.
Don't ever make that sound again, please.
I'm an elite, man. Let's see. This question kind of pisses me off, so I'll ask it. Steel Switch. What food normally served warm or hot is just as good or better cold?
I don't know if this one's normally served hot, but like for holidays, a lot of people have warm ham. Ham is better cold. If you get like a honey baked ham or something, it tastes way better cold than it does warm. But I don't know. In general, people eat ham cold way more often because you're thinking like deli meat ham. But
yeah.
Like holiday ham, I prefer like honey baked cold actually over warm. I eat both. I'll eat both, but I don't know. Cold is really good for some reason. The community feedback was pizza. It's not as good or better cold at all. It's still just good, but it's not better than piping hot fresh pizza. Fuck you if you think that.
Hot take: if a food is normally served hot, it is never going to be better cold. I can't think of an example.
There's a reason
people
it's served
say
that way, yeah.
Exactly. People say pizza. People say like spaghetti too, which is really strange.
I've never heard that one. I've never eaten cold spaghetti.
Maybe that's just my brother then, actually. But I can't think of anything. Because, yeah, like Tanner just said, if it's served hot, it's because it's better hot. I cannot think of a single food that I prefer if it's served hot that is better cold.
You know what? I've got one.
Or even just as good.
Bacon. What? I like bacon once it sits out of the oven for like 30 minutes or so and gets to room temperature. Maybe slightly warm. I will take that over fresh hot bacon.
Is it because it stiffens out more though?
Maybe it kind of becomes like more chewy almost, which I like. I don't know, maybe.
Interesting. Yeah, even that. I'm not with you on that. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird people like cold pizza. I don't get it. It's
I liked it a lot
okay.
growing up. I don't like it anymore.
I'll eat it, but it's better hot. Yeah, for sure.
It's better. Just stop using microwaves, guys. Preheat your oven and put the pizza back in the oven at like 375 or 400 for like 7 minutes. Put a few slices in there, and it's crispier than when you got the pizza, so it's excellent. It's hot, crispy, really good. Yeah. I can't think of anything else.
Moving on. From George Washington. If you could know how you die or when you die, which one would you prefer to know? That's interesting. God, I wouldn't want to know either.
I was going to say, can I just pick neither? I
really want neither. If I couldn't pick neither, I would pick how.
Yeah, that's all I was leaning towards.
I think. Ooh, I'd have to think about it more.
Yeah.
Maybe you pick when. You like plan better? I don't know. God, I don't want to know either though. That'd be cap. But anyway,
there's a lot of questions he asked here.
Yeah, this guy had
answering all of these.
He smoked a bong and then okay. Next one.
These. Wait, actually though, look, these were posted at like 2 and 3 a.m.
Yeah, he
on
hit
7:15. George Washington. What day of the week was this? When was this? 7:15. Yeah, this was a Friday night. He was fucking hammered on a Friday night.
That's and funny. High and hammered, yeah.
That's a George Washington, friend of the pod. Which one do we want to answer less? Top 5 movies, don't care. Do you believe in vigilante justice? Yeah. And the Fed. Fuck the pigs, yeah. For sure.
Ooh. I don't. No, I believe in law and order. I think that's important. I'm not going to be super mad. Like, there's that story of the guy his son had like a karate teacher that like raped him, and then he just killed the karate teacher. That's vigilante justice. Hey, I'm not mad about it. And the guy got a slap on the wrist, so he was punished a little bit. Or I think he might have been like totally acquitted actually. I think the courthouse was like in Texas or something. But you can't build a society that way. But when it happens, yeah, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often,
I'm glad
so,
that guy did that. You know, that's cool. But, you know, no. Ultimately, no. I don't think it's. I think it's better for society if we have law and order. And if someone does something bad, and you live in a society that punishes bad things, which is what you want, it'll get taken care of dispassionately, as they say. So ultimately, no. But like personally, I would do it. I could see situations where I would do it, but I wouldn't want a society that way. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. The ones you see, it's usually like some guy, daughter or something gets raped, like under 18 daughter, and he goes and kills the person, which is, I think,
I support
fair
that
every single time. Yeah. I mean, every single time. Yeah.
Yeah.
All time worst POI, POU, dig site, worst POI of all time. With the worst POI, so unnecessary, Jesus Christ. And it took
so
up fucking half the patch notes. One of the
they were so excited about a skeleton.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather camp on a lake or go on a tropical vacation? Tropical vacation. I like camping on lakes. I'll camp on a lake, but you can't compare those two. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Obviously, a tropical vacation. Yeah.
Yeah.
These are actually good questions. What is the one true best cut of steak and how to cook it? Ribeye, medium rare, obviously. Bone in or bone out is the only real question there, and I don't have an answer for you. They're both very good, but those are the top two.
Bone in usually. Unnecessary waste of money. It's for looks.
It tastes different for sure, but
not really. People say that it doesn't really.
You'll be educated on this topic.
I've eaten more of them. Yeah. But sure.
They
don't taste any different. It's literally hype for Instagram and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your PR keg stand time? Never done a keg stand.
Yep, never.
I'm 30. I've drank out of plenty of kegs, but I didn't do a keg stand. What is your personal most embarrassing rejection story? Don't have one, I don't think.
I don't think I've ever been rejected, really, because I don't usually try.
Yeah, exactly. It's like by the time I'm actually shooting my shot, as it were, it's because I know that there's interest, so I don't get like rejected like this, which is actually a bad thing. I respect people that have personal rejection stories because it means they fucking they went out there and did it.
Good for them.
You know, so kudos to you, but I'm not that person. So by the time I'm like, hey, you want to go out or whatever, I'm certain the answer is yes. You know.
Yeah, I literally, I've never once been rejected. Yeah, that's weird. I'm with you though. Shout out to the people that do get rejected because you have balls to do it. Like people like Joey, he's been rejected a lot, but that's because he's willing to go up and talk to any fucking girl anywhere ever and shoot a shot. So it's like he'll be rejected, but he has tried hundreds of more times than I ever have, you know?
Yeah. And that's not that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I agree.
Not at all.
Okay. Oh, this is interesting. How far could you run if your life depended on it?
What are you thinking, like a jog or like a full-blown sprint?
I think like a jog.
I don't know, man. I haven't ran
a full-blown sprint. I mean, like, I don't even know. Dude, like, yards. Yeah, really few, yeah. Like a jog? When I was in shape, I could jog for a long, long time, but I'm not in shape. I have no idea. Like, I actually can't answer this. I have no idea.
I never really ran. Like, the only time I would ever run was, like, in PE for high school when you'd run your mile and shit. And I had, like, good mile times, and that was without even doing anything.
What was your best mile time ever? Do you remember?
No.
6:02.
I don't think mine was ever that low.
In 8th grade. Back in the track and field days.
8th grade, huh? Yeah.
It must have been 8th grade because it was in middle school. I can't imagine I ran faster in 7th. So yeah, it must have been 8th grade. I was a fast little fuck. Yeah. I kind of wanted like a sub 6-minute mile, but then I got to high school and I don't know what happened, but I didn't do track and field in high school. I don't know why I didn't actually. Oh, I think by then I was doing like karate. So I just didn't care that much anymore.
Super nerd. Yeah.
But like I have a body built for like long distance running. Not that I'd be the best or anything, but if I'm going to do any sport, if I'm going to be the best I can be at any sport, it would be distance running. I'm built for it. I have a really short torso, long ass legs. I'm skinny, so I don't have to carry a lot of weight around. I was a pretty good distance runner. Hated it though. Don't like it. It was fun competing because, like, you know, you go to those meets or whatever and you're like racing against other people. That was fun. But it was because of the competition. It wasn't because of the sport itself. Like, oh, who can fucking run the mile faster? Boring. Cringe.
Yeah.
I was good at it. But I don't know. Anyway. Next ones are dog shit. Waffles, pancakes, French toast ranked. French toast is the best, then waffles, and then pancakes. Bacon, ham, sausage ranked. Bacon, sausage, ham.
Yeah. Waffles, pancakes, French toast, I don't care about that much. French toast is so dependent on where you get it. The waffles and pancakes are usually waffles or pancakes. French toast, though, can be so fucking different everywhere.
I feel like we answered this recently, but yeah.
Twisted Sage has French toast that they use like this baguette bread, this baguette, and it is fucking amazing. I don't ever order French toast places usually, but that one is so good. But yeah, waffles and pancakes, they're the same thing. Get over it. They're the same.
This is an interesting Mr. Motorcycle. If you could only pick one way for meat to be prepared, what would it be? And then he asks for us to rank the following, which I don't think we're doing. But pan-fried, charcoal, pellet, propane grill, oven-baked, deep-fried, sous vide, raw, okay, microwaved, or over a campfire.
So we're picking the one from that list?
If you had to pick one of these, yeah. Unless you think of another one.
I think it's gotta be... I think it's gotta be a charcoal grill. As someone who doesn't even own a charcoal grill and almost never eat steak that way, that is the best steak, I think.
Is it better than a pellet grill?
Yeah,
People
way
say
better.
Pellet's better. Interesting.
Pellet's good for ease of use. I mean, that's what I have, and it's good for, like, you know, you can smoke things longer, you can kind of cook things higher temperature. Like, the steaks that I make on it are really good, but nothing will ever beat the taste of charcoal or, like, charcoal and real wood combined. Like, if you get, like, a nice, like, ribeye on, like, a big green egg or something where you use charcoal, like lump charcoal, and then, like, some smoking type wood, that's the best flavor in the world. Nothing better.
Yeah. Smoked meats. There's something there. So I'm with you. It has to be a charcoal grill. Yeah. Just classic.
Yeah.
And you really do taste it. As like
it does taste a lot
snooty
better.
And cringe as that sounds, like the smoked part, it actually does make a difference.
Yeah.
So it has to be that. Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Steel Switch, what high school pranks did you hear of? We never had pranks. I don't know about you guys.
I don't remember. I wasn't cool enough if they did them, and they weren't big enough for me to have heard about them. So if there were pranks, they weren't a very big deal. The biggest like seedy thing that happened in high school was senior ditch day, which I partook in. Did you guys have that? My internet cut out? Oh.
No, I'm thinking. I don't think we did. I think it was like being planned, and like the school said, like, don't fucking ditch. If you guys ditch, you're gonna get dinged for it. And then some people did it anyways. But my senior year was so fucking easy. I had no reason to ditch. I was done with class by like 12:30. I don't need a ditch.
If you were smart,
I had like 2 real classes.
You could have a half day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad, though, he took this picture that they ended up putting in their yearbook. He did like photo in high school. And back then, you know, this was, I think they graduated high school in 78, I want to say, 77, 76, somewhere around there.
Many of you
things were a lot crazier. If I'm not mistaken, it was their arch high school, their arch nemesis. Some of their seniors came over and ran naked through the quad at their high school.
Whoa.
And this is back in the 70s, and my dad got a picture of it from behind from the guy sprinting through bare ass, and that even went into their yearbook. That's how different that is than it would be now. I mean, now those kids would be in prison. Kids' parents would be fucking suing. Everyone just thought it was funny, though, and no one probably got in that much trouble for it. You can't do that shit anymore, of course. But yeah, that was... So, I mean, I heard of pranks like that, but we never had anything like that happen.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, yours is pretty funny still. You're old as shit, so it makes sense you had a prank. Do you or have you ever used the built-in monitor reticle? And if so, do you think it helps? The default COD reticle is trash. Leia asked me this a long time ago, and I was like, no, I don't see a reason to ever use it.
I don't either.
And for Call of Duty, that's still true. There's no reason to ever use it in Call of Duty. Especially now in MW2, you can turn this on. In your settings, just turn on center dot, and it will do the same thing. There will always be a dot at the center of your screen. I have it on, in addition to crosshair. So it's nice.
Yeah.
And I would encourage you guys to turn it on. But in COD, unless you were playing like, I think even in hardcore you get crosshairs though. If you don't, then maybe it would be worth it there.
You don't get crosshairs in hardcore.
Oh, okay. So maybe for that it would be worth it. I was thinking too for Tarkov, it would be good to have to hip fire shit.
It doesn't work because Tarkov bases hip fire off the length of your gun, so it's not always the same. Every gun in Tarkov hip fires. It depends how long your gun is. So if you throw a suppressor on an M1A, the hip fire is slightly different than if you throw like a suppressor and a long barrel on an M1A. The hip fire is different than a short barrel with like just a muzzle brake on.
Okay.
I learned that from Wick because people always ask him that in chat. Like, how do you get so good with point fire? He's like, I just use every gun. Every gun has different point fire depending on the length of your gun. Just use them all and you'll get used to them.
That's so great. Yeah, that guy's.
That's why some guns feel better with hip fire.
That makes sense.
You kind of get used to it. Like because the longer guns, it appears longer on your screen, and the center point is going to be closer to like where the barrel is. You know?
Yeah.
On your screen.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, for your purposes of crap, just turn on center dot or whatever. If you want. I have it on. I think it's helpful. It's nice.
I like games where you can like customize your crosshair a lot. Like back in CS:GO.
I know.
You didn't I think you can do it in game now, but you didn't used to be able to. You had to like go in like the game files and edit shit. So you would like search like this was like Counter-Strike Source actually. You would search like CS pros, what they use for their reticle, and you would copy it and put it in your file and you'd have their reticle. Because it was like actually very different. Because like then you can make it so when your gun recoils and has spread, it actually gets bigger, or the reticle stays the same size always, which I think is generally what people use in Counter-Strike. They don't like it when it gets bigger, like COD when you fire, how it expands and then retracts constantly based on the recoil. But yeah, I don't think you should ever do that in COD.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't use a monitor reticle. Let's see.
Grab some water.
Okay. Aegon Targaryen, change it. What experience do you guys have with zombies? Have you guys played any of the custom zombies maps on BO3? If so, what's your all-time favorite map and wonder weapon? My zombies experience is very limited. I played like the older zombies in some games, sometimes like split screen, like my friends. I don't remember even the game, and certainly not the names of the maps or whatever. But I played a lot of Cold War zombies and some of the Vanguard zombies shit too. My favorite zombies map, therefore, is one of the ones from Cold War. I forget what it's called actually, but I really liked it. I liked how Cold War zombies maps in general were. Let me pull up a list here. Okay, this list has literally 2 on it. Oh no, here we go. Was it Die Machine? Maybe? It's hard for me to tell. I don't know. Whatever. One of the Cold War Zombies maps was really good. Favorite wonder weapon? I mean, obviously the ray gun, right? But no, actually, probably not. It would, again, definitely be one of those Cold War ones. What were the Cold War zombies? Oh, the Suck and Fuck from Cold War, from the first map. It was like it was kind of like the Zarya thing. You could like shoot little balls, I think, or you could suck people in with right click. Yeah, like you'd suck up zombies with right click. Then if you left click, you shot out like energy or whatever. That was my favorite wonder weapon. That was fun. Yeah, the suck and fuck.
I
That
like
one was
the.
really fun.
Oh man, hold on. There was a good one.
One of them like turned into a melee weapon, which is kind of cute too. On one of the newer maps. But the suck and fuck was my favorite.
Yeah, where is it? So the Die Machine CR. Yeah, I think it was the Kerberos on Mauer der Toten. It was that little pistol that it could be like a little shotgun pistol, a little AR.
Yeah.
That was our favorite map, by the way. Mauer der Toten. That was the one we really liked. That was our favorite, where it was like the big pile of trash in the middle, but you can still run over it. And there was like zip lines.
Mm-hmm.
Mauer der Toten and the Wonder Weapon were my favorite. I didn't play a ton of zombies growing up. Is that what the question was? Have you guys ever played? I never played custom zombies maps, no.
And I never played custom. Yeah.
I mean, I played zombies split screen back then, but it's just like we'd be hanging out at someone's house in high school or something, just hanging out, playing zombies. We wouldn't really be thinking about it. It was just something to do.
Exactly. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Where are we going next?
Steel Switch 723, the vehicle question. What do you think?
Oh, okay, yeah. What is the fastest you've ever driven, and in what vehicle? His max was 110 miles an hour on a 95 Ford Thunderbird.
And maintain it for 5 minutes?
Jesus Christ, that's a long time.
Shit. Even maintaining that at like 30 seconds is going to be a long. I guess if you live in middle of nowhere, that's not a big deal. But you can't even get up to 110 on the freeway here ever without running into someone and killing them.
Yeah.
Mine was probably around the same. It was when Joey was driving. Joey was a fucking crazy driver.
What about
he crashed
you
about
ever
5
driven?
of his cars. That was the fastest I've ever probably been in. Me, I don't know, 95, 100. I like the feeling of accelerating fast, but then once I get up to a speed, I'm slowing down because I'm not getting. There's a difference between accelerating fast and the cop seeing and getting a ticket versus me driving fucking 40 over the speed limit. Like you're in big ass trouble if you get caught on the freeway going 100 miles an hour. Not worth it here. There's a ton of cars. I hate when people do that. Pisses me off. Like these people are like literally gonna kill someone else. Like it's so fucking cringe. Going in and out of traffic, chasing each other, 100+ mile an hour. I'm like, get a fucking life. Take your fucking dog shit Mustang, whatever you're driving, go to a fucking track or something, or go anywhere else. Stop doing that on the freeway where there's cars everywhere. You're not cool. You're an idiot, and I hope you get in a car crash actually and kill yourself in the car crash. But anyways, because otherwise you're gonna end up killing someone else that doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
So that shit pisses me off. So that's why I never really drove fast ever.
I remember when I was, I think 18 or 17, my grandma, when I got my license, gave me her Pontiac Grand Am, 1996 Pontiac Grand Am.
Shout out to Grandma.
Yeah, friend of the pod, F. And I was driving with this.
Oh, fuck, those were ugly.
Oh, awful.
God, those were ugly. I had to look that up to remember how ugly they were. Oh, my God.
It was like a dark green one.
Yeah. Oh, fuck me.
And I was driving with some kid I did karate with, and he was in the passenger seat. And we were just on the 57 going like 2 miles. We were coming back from like Target or something. It's like very close to my exit. And then I, for whatever dumb reason, just a dumb idiot kid, I just floored it. And I got over 100 miles an hour. I think it was like 110, 120. No faster than 120, but it might have been 120. And it was fine, but like, God, that was stupid, dude. Especially in that car. It was not well maintained. It was not smart. And if I got pulled over, I would have been actually put in jail. Because that's like reckless endangerment. That's like felony level speeding.
What speed did you say?
Like 110 to 120. Mm-hmm. That's like they'll literally take
you're not getting a ticket for that. You're going to jail and your car's impounded for sure.
Yeah. So that was super dumb, but it was fun. But yeah, I also got a speeding ticket. It was raining. I was in my mom's Lexus IS 250. Thing is fucking dope, by the way. And I picked up dinner for everyone, 3 calendars. And I was driving back, and I was jamming Master of Puppets super loud. And I was going like 90, 95. And so the last story, there was like no one on the freeway. It was like 2:00 on like a Wednesday. There was like no one out. So it was pretty dead on the freeway at that time. And I wasn't going east-west. I was going north-south. But this, I was going on the 10, going west, east from...
Yeah, from West Covina.
Yeah, at like 5:36. So like there were plenty of cars.
Yeah, there were
and
cars.
I was just lane splitting. I must have been 18 or 19. Lane splitting, fucking in the rain. Cop pulls me over. And he's like mad at me. For every reason you rightfully pointed out. He's like, dude, it's raining too. Like you could kill yourself and like a lot of people. This is really fucking dumb. So I got a big ticket for that.
Damn. Was the food cold when he got home?
No, actually. He didn't keep me that long. He got to business.
He was already writing the ticket before he walked up, yeah.
And he's like, you're a fucking idiot. Here's your ticket. Yeah.
You tell him in the Fed?
I did not. I should have, though. But yeah.
That's funny.
Anyway.
Yeah, when I had gone really fast with Joey that one time, it wasn't that bad because we were down in like Orange County. We were coming home from one of our girls' friends' houses who like her parents had a house in like Coto de Caza, like the really nice area in Newport Beach. And so we were driving home, and it was like one of those little private freeways essentially where you have to like pay to go on it, and no one's ever on them, and they're super smooth because they're like privately maintained or something, and there's fucking no one on it. That's when Joey was like flying, so I was like, whatever, you're gonna kill me, but at least you're not gonna kill other people.
I heard crazier stories about Cody.
Well, Cody's one of the biggest piece of shit I've ever met in my life.
Did you ever hear that story?
I mean, awful person. Yeah.
I wasn't there,
when
but
he
it was
crashed
like
Joey's
Cody.
Mustang?
No, I haven't heard that story.
He totaled Joey's Mustang.
Oh, shit, really?
Joey let him drive it one time when it was raining, and Cody's a fucking idiot and ran it into a wall or something.
There's this other time, I wasn't there, thankfully, but it was Cody was driving, and Michael and Gabe were there. Joey was probably there. Ben might have been there. And he was just like speeding, crazy shit at night. They're all drunk. And he had his headlights off for like some dumb fucking reason. So a cop, like he sees a cop, and the cop like starts following him or whatever. So he fucking like drives super fast to get away, parks his car, gets his keys out of the ignition, and throws them out of his car before the cop was able to turn his lights on. And I guess there's a law where you can't get a ticket if the lights aren't on before your engine is off or whatever.
Jesus Christ.
So the cops made them all get out and sit on the curb for like a long ass time. They called a bunch of other cops over, but he got completely away with it through this like loophole. And they had all just gotten food. That's why they were driving out. So they were just like eating on the curb and like getting yelled at. But they couldn't do anything because of like a technicality. How crazy of a person do you have to be to know that that's a law? And then also like do that?
He genuinely
I wouldn't even
is
believe that
like
story if
one
Michael
of the
didn't tell me.
biggest pieces of shit I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Like he's full blown racist, fucking scumbag. He is a piece of shit. My God, he's an awful human being. God, he's the worst person. Yeah,
he was a real weirdo for sure.
Real fucking weirdo, still is. But yeah, like see, like things like that, I would usually drive myself places because I wouldn't get in a car with Cody. I don't think I ever drove with Cody, and I never would because people that I knew were fucking maniacs. I wouldn't even get in a car with them. So like, I'm not gonna die because you're an idiot and you want to be cool and fucking drive like an
I don't
asshole.
think I ever drove with him either. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like you have to be super insecure to do that, to like show off for your like dumb little friends.
Oh, he had fucking hardcore issues growing up. Yeah, parental issues. Divorce. Dad didn't love him. Pretty sure his dad beat him. His dad was also like an actual Nazi racist. Great childhood, yeah.
Yeah.
His brother used to have a fucking Nazi flag hanging in his room.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
His brother is worse than he is.
That's wild, dude.
His brother had German cross tattoos, which is the closest you can get.
The Iron Cross,
before doing a full-blown swastika and getting hopefully gunned down on the street by someone.
That's one step below for sure. Yeah.
I think he had one on the back of each arm. Typical bro.
He's gonna get
idiot.
a Kanye portrait on his back.
Wonder what he's up to these days. Man, I forget his brother's name.
He's bumping graduation, man.
Yeah, probably. God, they're awful family. Terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. Who was he friends with? Why was he around?
I never liked the guy. It was like Gabe, or no, it was Ben was friends with him. Kind of. But then Ben was always like, Cody's fucking crazy too. But it's because like they kind of became friends before he full on lost it. I never liked the guy ever. Knew him from like elementary school up. He was always a piece of shit asshole. But Ben was kind of, I mean, Ben doesn't talk to him anymore.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. That's a good place to end this.
Yeah.
So, that's it. Boys and girls, hope you enjoyed. We got some Call of Duty questions, some not. Don't really have any reminders for you. Again, we're recording this on the 7th of December, so if anything's going on, we have the schedule.
Pearl Harbor
Whenever this goes up, we have our schedule up for this week or next week on our Twitter at the Dropshot Pod. Find us there, or in our Discord, which is linked somewhere, and it's also where you can ask questions again. Also, reminder, patreon.com/thedropshot. We do 5 bonus eps a month. We do monthly hangouts and more. So if you wanted to support the program, if you wanted to get some extra goodies, ad-free episodes, early access episodes, Patreon is the way to do it. Patreon.com/thedropshot, or you can just go to thedropshot.com and find links to everything mentioned and more over there. And then also, reminder, big push for Manscaped this month. You'd be helping us out a lot. Help yourself as well. Get some early gifts for yourself or others. Manscaped.com. Use code DROPSHOT, 20% off and free shipping. Thank you all for listening and watching. We will see you next time. Stay humble.
Stay humble.